Please don't spoil the movie
by adding your own soundtrack. Hello, everyone. Hi, I'm Princess Tiana.
Lame. My name is Jenna Hamilton.
From 13 going on 30. Jenna?
No, that's Jenna Rink.
Who the hell is Jenna Hamilton?
I knew it. I knew you weren't gonna get it.
Who is it?
Awkward. Hello.
Oh my god, I haven't seen that show forever.
The reason why I said Jenna Hamilton is because I've recently been watching Awkward.
Oh, I never finished it. You finished it though.
No, I never finished it.
We never finished it together. Mm-hmm. Wow. We should try to catch up on Teen Wolf too, because we never finished that.
Right, we never finished
that was a good show.
And then I was looking, because I have Paramount Plus, if you want my login, sure, whatever.
Let me know if you want.
But I have Paramount Plus, and I was looking at how many seasons it was, and it was only 5, and I was like, how did we not finish this?
It was a different time.
And we got to the last season.
Oh, yes.
And we just didn't finish it.
Because she went dark. It was just like, ugh.
I don't think she went dark. I think they started...
No, she went like bad girl. I didn't like that. She
I don't remember that happening.
Remember she dumped her original boyfriend, the main guy that she was dating. She started dating this bad boy, and she got all like emo or whatever. And
that happens on the show?
Yeah, it's like, but she dates a bad boy, and she turns into like a bad... It's just like completely... And I didn't like it.
I don't remember that. What I don't like is, I hate when shows are in high school and we watch them transition out of high school. And it's like, oh, everybody's like going their separate ways and going off to college. I hate when shows do that. Oh. Let's just stick in high school for the entire duration of the show. And like the last episode be everybody graduating high school.
Yeah.
I don't want to watch that through the process of the program.
No, me neither, yeah.
Ugh.
And welcome back to...
Oh, please don't spoil the movie. And... okay, so I'm watching the show. I'm like, this show is so racy.
It was racy. It was good. There's some good stuff on there.
She's like 14 having sex.
Was she?
And they're like getting it on.
Oh, I just remember that. I think it was this show. Like one of the girls is like super Catholic, and she found out, or she realized that the butthole is like a way. I was like, oh my goodness.
I just can't believe at how much sex they've been having on this show.
On the MTV,
they have a lot of sex. Like, she has a lot of sex for a 15-year-old girl.
Dang.
I think it's too much.
What is MTV? What age group are they trying to attract?
I don't know, but I don't think any other MTV show had this much sex on it. Like, I was just astounded at how much sex she was having.
MTV used to have some good shows.
Great shows. That... Teen Wolf. Remember that show Faking It? It didn't have that long of a run.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
But that was a good one. We didn't really watch it, though.
They had some good stuff.
The main girl was hot.
Okay. The main girl was hot. That was all.
There was two main girls on the show.
Faking It.
And then it was about them. I think they did it to be popular. It was about them. Well, I think one of them did it to be popular. And to make the most popular guy in school jealous or something like that. And and they're best friends, and they start dating each other, and like everyone thinks they're lesbians.
Yes.
But then one of them actually is a lesbian.
Yes, I remember her. Yes,
the hot one,
the brunette.
Oh,
I remember the
blonde one was hot.
And they pretend to be lesbians. Is that what you said?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I do vaguely remember this show. It's got good ratings.
Yeah, MTV really used to be in its bag. Now we just see reruns of Ridiculous all day.
Do they not have a budget? Or is
what
it just...
does Rob, whatever his last name, have on the CEO of MTV?
Is he just making that much money? They're just like, we don't need to do anything else.
Like, do they still even make episodes of the show at this point?
It's a great question. I think so.
I really don't think MTV airs anything other than that and then they air Catfish at night, which I'll watch Catfish though.
Love Catfish.
But like, who wants to watch ridiculousness all day?
Yeah, that's all they have.
I don't know. Cut it off.
Or like, can y'all just rerun Teen Wolf? Like,
put something else on. We know y'all see us tweeting about how often y'all play ridiculous.
He said y'all be tweeting, but the cash money coming in, it's not adding up. He said someone is watching the show, and that's who I care about.
I don't understand who. It's like it's a conundrum. It's a phenomenon. Just like how Selena Gomez has like the most followers on Instagram.
I was just talking about that with someone.
And is considered like one of the greatest pop stars ever. Couldn't name a Selena Gomez song if my life depended on it.
I want to get good for you, good. Her pop songs that come out I really like, but that was 10 years ago. I was just like, how is she still so famous? She hasn't made music in so long. I'm like, what are the girls obsessed with?
And then her songs suck, if you ask me.
Oh, she's got some good pop songs.
I didn't even know she had albums. I thought she just had singles.
Yeah, she has an album.
I know that.
They say that Idol is loosely based off of her.
Be for real. Who is Stavros in this situation?
Well, I guess we're
Tetros,
getting right, but I guess technically we're he used her and the Weeknd used to date, so I guess he's pulling inspiration.
Is he supposed to be himself?
I freaking hope not. But she does have that one album cover where she's like naked. I don't know. It's just like,
where did you hear that from? This is news to me.
They talked about on Giggly Squad. I see some tweets about it.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So like that's
so interesting. Is her mom dead?
That's a great question. She might be.
Let's see. Then that will really put the nail in the coffin. That'll really be the confirmation I need. Is Selena Gomez's...
I don't know. It doesn't look like they're dead.
Mother dead?
I don't think she is.
Selena Gomez's mom almost lost her life.
Oh, really?
I guess. So this article says.
She has like one, like, maybe it was an album cover. Maybe it was just like a single cover where she's like naked.
Wow.
I don't know, but that's what people are saying. Like,
is Idol...
Oh, this one. Reveal.
Oh, okay.
Like, and I don't know. And they're trying to make it, but like,
I would have guessed, like,
even though it's a lot of people,
Spears.
Even though it's a lot of like Disney stars, but it's like, I don't, I'm a Disney star and I don't want to be seen like this. I want to be seen as a real artist type vibe, which could be any Disney star.
Okay, but the thing about it, when I was watching The Idol, I felt like it wasn't like she was a good girl and he turned her bad. I felt like she was already a little racy.
Yeah. But who knows? I don't follow Selena Gomez, so I don't even know. But she was always a little from wherever
the Wizards of
Waverly Place. Everyone thought she was kind of like. I mean, I didn't consider her to be like a good girl. I consider her to be like her character a little.
Yeah.
Fun. I don't know.
I didn't like her character on the show. I thought she was annoying, and she always
didn't watch it
after she made a joke.
She always did what?
After she made a joke.
That was her catchphrase.
No, it was like. Like she'd be like, I don't want to do that. I was like, why do you keep up ing? It's annoying. Cut it out.
That's her.
She would like make a joke. Like, stop. Are you laughing at yourself?
Know. I'm not sure how to respond to that.
It used to drive me insane. It literally used to drive me up the wall.
She's like, is no one else seeing this?
Like, it was the most frustrating thing I've ever experienced.
Oh, well. But I did finish The Icon as we talk about it.
The Idol.
The Icon. Why did I say that? The Idol.
What were your thoughts?
I thought it was really hard to watch. Like the first 2-3 episodes, I didn't like. I was like, ugh. It's only 5, Jordan. Just make it through it. Like I didn't want to. Like I didn't want to keep going.
I honestly didn't think it was that bad until that part where they're like all in her house and they're like recording.
And for the producers and whatnot.
Yeah,
I really liked that scene. I thought that was fun.
No. That's not what I'm talking about. No. When she's like recording her song or whatever, and then the black woman comes in.
And she's like, and he starts touching her?
Yeah. I was like, what the hell? I was like, why is this necessary?
Oh, why is it necessary? Why can't y'all go behind a curtain and do that?
Right. It was so
Why do we have
weird.
to do it in front of everybody? But to me, those scenes ruined, like the sex scenes, ruined it for me. I'm like, okay, I get it. Risque. But like, can we shorten it up? Does it have to be this long? Like, do I have to sit here and cringe the whole time? It's just like too much. Just like, why am I watching this?
All I know is that The Weeknd is forever stamped as Tetros in my brain.
That is The Weeknd is projecting.
That's him. That's who he is. This is his character.
If it's
he
not
wasn't acting,
right? If it's not him,
he woke up like
it's his Sasha Fierce, which is both are. And I'm not sure. Like I'm not sure which one's worse, but like that is him.
Yeah,
that's a version of him somewhere inside of him. Is that version
deep down? He wasn't pulling that deep to get Tetros in the rat tail.
It was so cringe.
It was surface level. He was pulling from.
I can't tell if like his acting was so good that he makes me cringe, or just like I thought
his acting was fine.
Yeah, well, just like I don't know the Weeknd's personality, so
I feel like he's so
like some
so
artists
mundane. Like I just feel like he's just so lifeless with the personality.
Yeah,
you'd be like, hey, how you? He'd be like, hello.
Right.
My life is a black dark abyss.
I don't know what these white girls love about him. I'm like, what do you have in common with one of the...
I feel like talking to him is literally talking to a brick wall. I feel like paint is more interesting.
He's just happy to date a black guy. Because, like, what did Kim and Kanye have together besides fashion?
Yeah.
Like, what was an exciting time that you had together?
Right. What conversations do you
He doesn't even seem like he likes your type of girl. Like her career, he seems like he would talk shit about it.
He made her. Right.
I don't think he made her.
She was already made.
But I feel like he doesn't like...
He molded her into the woman that he wanted her to be.
But I feel like he doesn't even like the things that she does to, to keep up her fame, like, doing all these fashion. I don't know. I just feel like, what do they even have in common? Nothing. But back to Idol.
Yes.
I did love the last episode for sure.
I didn't like it.
And it brought to me, it brought it all together. And I was like, okay.
When she brought him back on stage, I was like, why are we... I did like it when she was like, now go stand over there. I was like, ooh, yeah.
I think, because people keep saying she's like a master manipulator. I don't think she was.
I think that's what they were trying to get at.
Yeah.
With the whole, this is the other thing. I was like, why is this in here? The whole thing with the dude in the dog collar, and they were like torturing him.
I didn't know.
And he was like, she's lying.
I
and
guess...
she was like, shock him again. I was like, oh, she's a psychopath.
I think they were, I think they were just... I'm assuming they had some kind of trauma, like joint trauma with that they never got over, and they were just like workshopping that.
Why is it his responsibility to tell to broadcast to the world that your mother's abusing you?
Yeah.
You have adults around you.
Yeah.
Y'all are the same age. And then I'm like, okay, at what point can you not just take the hairbrush out of your mom's hair? Like, I get it when you were like 13, 14, but like you're a grown woman now. Mm-hmm. Like you can take her. You can take
no. That's not how the abuse works. It doesn't stop. It's like mental.
I just don't understand why the responsibility fell on him.
Yeah, I don't know why she...
I was like, why is it not the assistant's responsibility? Yeah. Why is it not the manager? Why is it just him?
Yeah, I agree that part. I'm like, because I feel like, what they call him?
And then if you asked him not to say nothing,
right,
then you asked him not to say anything.
I was about to call him Thurnos, but I don't know why he doesn't realize it's a more complicated situation. It's not like black and white. Like it's
exactly
it's her mom.
Exactly.
I don't know what you want to do with. I don't know what you want to do.
Right.
But
I thought their whole relationship
was weird.
I didn't get that. I was like, so is she lying or is he lying? Are we supposed to realize in this moment that she's a psychopath?
I feel like both of them are telling the truth. I feel like it's one of those situations.
I think she was supposed to be. I think she thinks
she's telling the truth.
Yeah.
But I believe his story and also believe her story. I don't know.
Yeah, he didn't give me.
I was just gonna.
Well, he did have other reasons for us to believe that he was a liar.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I didn't think he was lying.
Yeah.
What I was confused about is why after he got tortured, he chose to like
he was brainwashed,
be part of this cult. Exactly. I would have been like, all right, well now I gotta skedaddle.
Because it's like, I want to call him. What's his name? I'm about to call him Thornos again. What's
Tetros. Stavros
broke him down and built him back up.
Yeah.
And it's like, where was he gonna go? He was living there.
He wasn't living there before.
He's who? The white boy?
Yeah. I don't think he was.
I think he was. I think he's been... She said, like, you've been living with me since... I think he's been living... I think he lives with her. Yeah. And she said some kind of comment, like...
And that's another thing. We didn't get enough backstory. I was like, why was I supposed to know that y'all have been knowing each other since 13?
Yeah.
I was like, why am I just finding this out?
Right. Her best friend assistant. I was like, are you guys to go? This is not your vibe anymore.
Joss? Say Joss one more time. Shut up.
I was like, you guys have outgrown each other. You've outgrown this environment.
She was like, it's me and Joss's makeup line.
I felt so sorry for her.
I was like, oh, she's so beautiful.
She's a regular person.
I was like, sweetheart, you do not have a makeup line with her.
She used to, but like, I just felt like, girl, you're not LA or Hollywood or music industry enough. You have to go, sweetie.
Well, I'm glad she did leave.
I'm glad she did leave.
I wonder what she's
got
doing
paid
now.
Go back to living a regular life, girl.
Right. But
I really liked the last episode, and I like how she flipped the tables on Thornos and was like, I'm running the show. You know what? I got confused for a second. I love Get the Best of Me. I do run the show. You're a nobody. I am an icon.
Get to the corner.
Get to the back. On other news, me and Chance saw the new Indiana Jones.
Oh, Indiana Jones.
He came out a new one.
How was it?
It was really good. Was it? Classic Indiana Jones.
Classic Indy.
You can't miss with it. It was really good. It really made me. I was like, I miss Indiana Jones.
Oh really? Maybe I should go see it.
Yeah, you should go see it. Besides, I mean, there were some like parts where it's like, okay, come on, you're 80. Like
okay, what?
He's like 80. So he like did some stuff, and I was like, "Come on, guys."
Who
Like,
you trying to fool
he was
here?
climbing up something, and I was like, "Okay." He got punched in the face, and I was like, "Oh my god, he should be dead."
I'm like, that would have killed.
This is it for him.
That would have.
He gets like punched in the face twice in the movie. I'm like, he has something. Like something's wrong with his brain now. But he keeps on going. But it was really good. I do have a couple movies I want to mention before I get into the big one, which is Barbie. But and then me and Chance to watch The Blackening, the comedy.
I
movie.
wanted to see that so bad, and I'm so disappointed in myself for not going to see it in theater.
I know it's on the apps. We did not pay for it, but we should buy it, and I'll tell you if I buy it.
It was good.
It was good. It was lovely. You know, like a no holds bar.
Convincing.
I mean, it wasn't like it's like over an Oscar,
Right?
but it was pretty good. I laughed. I was into it.
Cried.
Yeah, I laughed. I was, just like a good
Comedy movie.
like comedy movie that's just like it's like nothing too serious. Like, I feel like now all the movies they do nowadays are just like it has to be a drama, or it has to be very intense, or it has to be like they don't make funny movies anymore.
Speaking of that, you know what movie I really wanted to go see?
What? The Asian one. No.
That movie, but no, that's not the one I was
Joyride.
talking about.
I want to see that one.
What's her name?
Jennifer.
Yes, whatever. No Hard Feelings. Oh my god, I wanted to see that movie so bad.
But they make
movies like that.
Yes,
they don't make them like they don't make them.
They're
like
doing
that
it,
no more.
but they're starting to do it. So we got The Blackening, that movie.
But if we don't
Joyride, like Barbie's kind of in that realm, but I feel like they kind of made them a little more serious. But like, just like. I don't want to go see a Marvel movie or an Oppenheimer all the time, guys.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't want to see a Marvel movie.
Like every time I go to the movies
this weekend, I want to see something.
Yes,
else.
I want to laugh.
Yes,
I want to laugh.
That's so hard.
I want to have a good time.
That's so freaking hard.
Okay, before we get into the Barbie movie, have you seen anything? Watch anything? Any shows besides?
No, Awkward was all I really had.
Yes, you haven't found where your girl show is, your Lady Bird.
Girl, they done scrapped it. The Rise of the Pink Ladies, they done scrapped it. It's not on here anymore. It's crazy to me.
It is crazy.
I was only on like episode 3.
It's messed up.
I want to know what happened with everyone.
Right. You have to like read it on. I wonder if it's somewhere on a site.
It's a good show. If they would just cut out the songs, it really could have gone for a season 2. God, every time those songs come on, I was like, "Get me out of here!" Fast forward, please.
Wait, remind me.
I love musicals.
Were the songs of this time, or were they made up? Were they like actual songs, or were they made up?
What?
Were they made up songs, or were they like actual? Did they like? Is it Glee, or is it like did they make up songs?
Oh no, they made up songs.
Yeah, I don't mind.
Yeah, they're horrible.
I know they like did songs of their time, which would have been fun, but it's no.
Oh, that would have been cute.
Yeah.
Yeah. They did not do that.
No, yeah,
Idiots.
very
That would've
stupid.
been smart.
That'd have been fun.
Fools, Aaron.
All right, you ready to talk about the movie?
The who?
The movie.
Oh yeah.
I'm talking about Barbie.
Oh,
I'm not talking about the movie. The movie.
Oh, okay. Sure.
I saw Barbie. I'm assuming you haven't.
No, of course I haven't.
It was really good. It was really, really good.
That's
So
all you
cute. Huh?
That's all you got. It was really good.
I don't know. I guess I don't want to spoil anything, but it was very up my alley. Very talked a lot about the patriarchy, how bad it is, and how bad men are.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, it's very heavy. Like
heavy.
It was because it's like in Barbie land, Barbie's the girl is like amazing, but they go into the real world and it's the reverse type vibe. And it was I really enjoyed it. I didn't that's the kind of vibe was going on, but like it was really good.
Gotcha, I see.
Yeah.
Me and my mom, not me and my mom,
our mother.
Me and mom were talking about going to see it tomorrow potentially.
Oh, I'll go. Are you off or something?
I'm off tomorrow. Don't you have work?
It's okay. I'll go.
And you already saw it.
Oh wow. Didn't know those rules here.
Can't sit with us.
Oh god. Okay, fine. You guys go without me. It's okay.
You'll go see it again?
Yeah, I would. I don't pay for the ticket, mother. But if y'all go early, if y'all want to get out of the way, fine.
Yeah, we're gonna go during the day.
Oh yeah, whatever.
Practice tomorrow.
Oh, true. Okay, I'll allow it. But y'all should.
Yeah,
and y'all should try to make her see Oppenheimer. You don't want to see it.
Oh my god. No, I cannot sit through that.
3 hours. I'm not.
My whole day would be gone.
3 hours. I'm not doing that. I'm not watching a 3 hour long movie. Get out.
I'll wait for that to come on the app.
Yes, me too. And
gladly.
And then once it comes on the app, we're like 3 months, and it was like it goes. It's leaving in a day, and I'm like, oh, let me go watch it.
Right.
Type vibe. But it was really good. Issa Rae did an amazing job as President Barbie.
Great.
Margot Riley. Robbie was good. And Ken, what's his name?
Ryan
Gosling. Amazing. I like a Ryan. Everyone was like, I saw a tweet. It was like, people were saying, I don't get the appeal of Ryan Gosling until the Barbie movie. And I was like, you guys haven't seen Nice Guys.
Oh, yeah. He's great in Nice Guys.
He's great. That was like, hilarious. That was the first time I was like, is this Ryan Gosling? Because I was like, there's no way that this guy, because that was the first role I've seen him be like bubbly and like funny. So I was just like, this cannot be Ryan Gosling, because the Ryan Gosling I know does like
The Notebook.
Yeah, The Notebook, and
right.
he's been sexy.
That it was the first movie where I saw him a little goofy.
Yeah. It was so good. He was so good at being a drunk, and he was hilarious. I love it in Nice Guys.
He was.
But yeah, he was pretty good in Barbie.
Yeah.
His performance in Nice Guys was better, though.
Oh, really?
Nice Guys is so good. I just believed him. I just believed that's who he was.
It was so convincing.
Yeah, but he was pretty good in Barbie. But it was a good movie. You know, chill, nothing crazy. Women rock, men suck.
What?
Women rock, men suck.
I thought you said something else.
I went by myself, unfortunately.
What?
I went by myself.
Oh, you went by yourself?
Mm-hmm.
When did you go?
I went Saturday night.
Oh, Saturday night.
Like 9:40.
Was it crowded?
It was pretty crowded.
I could not do that. If I'm going to see a movie by
Daytime.
myself, I don't want anybody else in there with me.
Right.
I don't want a matinee on a Tuesday.
I was not seeing Barbie at any time of daytime. I'm not sitting next to little Mackenzie. Like, this is grown up time. I had a bottle of wine, a bottle of champagne.
That's the most likely you're going to see the kids on a Saturday night.
It was at 9:40 p.m. No, they were asleep.
Oh, I guess.
I didn't get out till like 11.
I guess they would have went to the 7 o'clock show.
Yeah.
Still.
But yes, it was packed. I was surprised. It got packed. I was like, oh, people are going.
That's so crazy. I would never go see a movie by myself at night.
Well, I did it because Chancellor went to a party that I wasn't invited to. So I was like, well, why are you doing that? I'm going to go see Barbie.
Sounds like you're a loser. Okay.
Who, him? Yes.
No, you.
No.
Okay, what movie are we doing?
Think Barbie.
Think the original Barbie movie.
Yes.
Think fashion. Think spells. Think overnight transformation. Think dead mother. Think single dad. Think child actress who we know and love very dearly. The original Barbie movie, but we can't use the name Barbie for a copyright reason, so we had to change it to something else. Think black supermodel.
Yes.
Think annoying woman who has the hots for your dad and she doesn't know when to quit. Think
feminism.
Fashion montage. Think feminism. Think Malibu Dream House. And that brings us to...
Drum roll, please.
Life Size!
A movie that was so hard to find.
Oh my goodness.
Can I take a moment to if anyone wants
you can't watch this on anything.
It's not on Disney Plus. It's not on Amazon. It's not on Hulu. It's not on Paramount. It's not on
Tubu.
Peacock. It's not on Tubu.
It's
not on Roku.
Channel.
The only way
nothing
you can watch this movie is you have the DVD/VHS. And if I'm not telling you to do it, if you go pirate the movie, a wink, wink. But it's not anywhere, and it feels like an attack.
A crime against humanity.
Seems messed up.
I
wonder.
Okay. Summary. Still grieving from the death of her mother, Casey, played by Lindsay Lohan, uses a resurrection spell in an attempt to bring her back, but instead accidentally transforms her Eve doll into a real woman, Tyra Banks.
Amen.
Simple, pretty straightforward. Yeah. Okay, here we go. So the movie was released March 5th, 2000, and it is a fantasy comedy television film, and it originally appeared on ABC as a part of the Wonderful World of Disney block. I'm not really sure what that means, but it's a Disney movie. But it premiered on ABC. But it's part of the Wonderful World of Disney. Casting. I thought this was interesting. Oh, wait, no. Excuse me, sorry. It's written by Mark Rosman and Stephen Moore, and it is directed by Mark Rosman. Okay. There is no box office, but would you like to guess the film's budget?
I want a part of Tyra Banks' career. She was in this, but I'm gonna guess like $5 million.
I feel like this is okay. Pretty close.
Do you think this is
I think this is. She probably just retired from modeling.
But before, what you call it?
Oh, this is way before America's Next Top Model.
Okay. 6 million.
Very close.
It's 8 million.
How many?
8.
You're too high now.
7.
Correct.
Oh, not bad.
Correct.
Do they have box office when you do a straight to, like, how do you make money?
I don't even know. That's why I don't understand how they people make money when like stars are in Netflix films.
Yeah.
Like how are you getting paid?
They're not. That's the strike that's happening.
No, the writers aren't getting paid. The stars are getting paid.
And they're not getting paid as much either.
They're not getting residuals, but they're getting a check.
I guess. A check that won't last them. Freaking residuals used to be off the charts. I did read somewhere because we support the SAG and I don't know what the other acronym is.
We support the writers' strike.
The writers and the actor strike. Don't like to make that face. But I was reading that
I wasn't making a particular
I didn't know you were like not the actors. Okay.
Not the A-list actors.
Oh, well, yeah, no. There's the ones who are making it. It's like 1% of the actors.
We don't support the Tom Cruises.
Yes, that's the 1%ers. I was reading somewhere how I never really watched Friends, but there's a barista. Did you watch Friends? There's a
the
what's
barista. His name? I know his name. Oh my god, it's
You can say anything. I don't know.
He has blonde hair. I want to say it's like Barker. Oh my god, it's gonna drive me insane.
Just look it up. I don't know.
No, I need to know.
Do I have to stop? There's a pause the story that I'm telling.
Yes.
For you to sit here and guess this guy's name.
It's gonna drive me insane. Can you look it up and just give me the hint of the first letter?
What would I even look up?
Friends, coffee shop guy, coffee shop worker.
Coffee.
Oh my god, Duncan? Is it Duncan?
Guy. There we go.
Just the first letter.
He's blonde hair.
Yes.
With a G. You were kind of close with Gunther. Duncan.
G. God dang it.
Kind of rhymes with that.
I knew it. Gregory?
He died of prostate cancer.
Oh no.
He's only 59.
Oh, just tell me.
Gunther?
It's Gunther?
Yeah. You say that?
I think I did say Gunther.
Oh, okay. I can't remember.
It's Gunther?
Gunther.
That's disappointing.
But anywho, they said that I read somewhere. I hope this is factual. If it's not, I'm sorry. That he became Gunther, or he got to be in more scenes because he was the only person that knew how to work an espresso machine. The writers ended up liking him and gave him like a speaking role. And from his
why did he need to learn how to work an espresso?
I don't know. They wanted them to be legit. I don't know. So the writers liked him and they gave him like a recurring speaking role. Mm-hmm. And from his residuals, they said he makes $600,000
a year.
Just like overtime.
Oh gosh! Wow.
But like back in the day, people used to be able to do like small roles and make a living.
Yeah.
But now you
with streaming platforms.
This sucks because like I forgot. I don't know. It's just the checks that they give them for residuals is like 30 cents. I'm like, you can just keep it. Why are you insulting me?
Right.
With this 30-cent check.
Chump change.
But it is crazy how they've been able to get away with not paying these actors residuals for so long.
And I didn't even really, think about the whole residual thing.
Yeah.
Because I'm not,
I'm not in the world.
I'm not in the world.
But I did think about Hollywood. Like, how does this work with...
Yet.
I guess you're trying to... yeah, sucks. I hope they get their residuals because, come on, honey.
Fingers crossed.
Because there's nowhere how these... it's just like always the people who do nothing that make all the money. They're like, I didn't write this show. I didn't act in this show. I just pointed somewhere and I'm a millionaire and you live in a shack.
That isn't that always how it goes. That's capitalism, honey.
That's the white man society.
That's America for you, baby. That is America.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Where were we?
I don't know. The film was made for television, obviously, and Lindsay Lohan did not have to audition for the role of Casey Stewart.
Period.
Don't
ask
after,
me with before the third after
after
Parent Trap.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The producers of the film offered her the role as a part of a 3-picture contract with Walt Disney Company.
Dang, she didn't want to do it. She didn't want to keep doing it.
Keep doing what?
Oh, I was okay. I heard 3-part life size. Never mind.
No. A 3-picture contract. So I guess she has to give Disney 3
more movies. Get a clue.
I would have to assume Parent Trap was one of them. I don't know. Don't ask me what the 3 movies were because it doesn't say. Yeah. I tried to search it and it gave me nothing. So
it has to be Get a Clue.
That's what I was thinking.
This movie and one other movie. Yeah. That we probably can't think of.
And the film was shot in 3 weeks.
No, huh?
Filming took place in
Canada.
You guessed it, Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada,
where movies are made. Apparently,
where movies are made. When I was watching it, you know that part where she almost gets hit by the car. Yeah. There's a mountain in the background, and I was like, as soon as I saw the mountain, I was like, "They're freaking Canada." I already know it.
I love how they shot this in 3 weeks.
Yeah, I feel like it's very doable with this scene. It's very doable.
Well, I feel like it was still a decent movie.
I mean, yeah, just because it's shot in 3 weeks doesn't mean it's not a decent movie.
I know, but
they shot Call Me by Your Name in a month.
Did they? I love that movie. Ooh, you just made me think of them two kissing. I just hate that. I hate that one is a cannibal now. But God, they are so attractive.
And then they were supposed to make a sequel. I don't know why. I don't think that would have worked though. That's just like not a sequel type movie.
Yeah, I just want to see Timothy in this gay role.
Right. That's all. Give me more Timothy Chalamet
kissing a man,
and I'll be happy.
And I will be very.
Oh my God! Do you see that he's playing Willy Wonka?
Yeah, they've been saying that for a while.
It looks. But have you seen the trailer?
No, I haven't. It
looks horrible. Horrible.
Is it horrible because it looks horrible, or are we comparing it to Johnny Depp's?
I mean, probably, but it's just like. I was like, what character are you even like? It's like, I don't know. Even in the first one, he was a little off and quirky, It's just like he's not giving that in the trailer.
Is he giving serious? He's serious about
He's giving nothing. It looks like he's just reading the lines as like a young white person. Like, that's all I'm getting. Who's just trying to like open a store. And I'm just like, where's the corpse?
Oh, this is not fun.
Yeah.
This is like, see, they don't make fun movies anymore.
It's like it does look like a fun movie. He just should not have been the person casted for this. He doesn't have the character development.
Yeah.
He needs to play the sad, lonely emo boy, and that's it.
Right. Maybe Timothy was like, I want something different. And
this shouldn't have been it.
Like, here, take this.
This shouldn't have been it.
The people are going to come.
They're not going to come, I promise you.
Oh, I'm going to watch it eventually.
I can see the Rotten Tomato views already.
Girl, them girls going to... They at least going to get some money. They're going to get some money for it. Someone's swiping a card for Timothy.
Not if I have anything to do with it.
Oh, I'm swiping the card for Timothy. Timothy Chalamet. I mean, if it bombs, he still has Dune 2 and 3 coming out. He'd be fine financially. He's doing great. Okay, where were we? Back
to the movie. That's all I got.
I tried looking high and low as to why this movie is not anywhere.
I feel like that's what you get when you have like a made-for-TV movie. I was surprised. It is shocking though that 17 again was easier to find than this. This shouldn't have been that hard to find.
I think Disney's trying to scrub this. Because why would you not at least let Amazon...
Oh, yeah. Why is this not on Disney+? This is a Disney movie.
Yes. Or at least, why aren't you selling it to Amazon? Like, to me, it's... I feel like they did something... I don't know. I was like, okay, maybe they got a lawsuit with Barbie because they were like, you guys are too close.
Yeah.
Then I was like, okay, maybe they don't want... Because, when they did... The Parent Trap, they like took the part out with her earring because they didn't want little kids piercing each other's ears. You remember you said that?
Oh,
so I was like, maybe they don't want kids trying to
reincarnate their dead moms.
Yeah, I was like, maybe they were like, this is a little too much for kids. They might try to like do spells and open a portal to the Devil's Lair or something like that.
Maybe.
And then also I was like, when I was watching, I was like, this movie is heavily on the adult side. I don't know. I feel like we didn't see Casey that much. It's like,
oh my God, there was one. Yeah, no, she comes back in the movie later. I'm like, well, where has she been this whole time?
Yeah,
I forgot she was even in this movie.
I feel like the movie was like, I think they forgot it's a kids movie almost. It was just like, this is Eve's
There was like a good 30 minutes we didn't see her, and I was like, oh my God, where's she been at?
Yeah, it was I was like, maybe they were like, this. You made this movie a little too like adult.
I don't think it was adult, but they did like a child for a long duration of the movie.
Yeah, it's just like, is this like a Disney movie or this is like we're watching a 20-year-old, I don't know, the world.
Nonetheless, it still should be on Disney.
Yeah.
Disney Plus. I don't care.
But there's a couple other problematic things. I was like, maybe this is why they don't want it in it, and I'll try to point them out as we go. Those are my top. Those are my top things. It was either the devil worship.
Oh. The resurrection.
The
necromancing.
The necromancing, the copyright infringement, maybe. Or the fact that they were like, this does not have any children in it that much. So
no, there's some way worse stuff on Disney Plus.
Name one. I don't know.
I don't have Disney Plus, but I know there's worse stuff.
To me, it was in my head, it had to be the whole resurrecting your mom. And they were just like, maybe we crossed the line.
If we had to pick one out of the three,
because it's more like wishing upon a star, or like blowing out a candle out and make a wish. She bought a Book of the Dead and was like, I want to bring my mom back to life.
Yeah,
and maybe Disney was like,
yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, even I don't know, it was a little too intense because.
But if they could do it then, they could do it now.
Yeah. Even Hocus Pocus, I mean, they say stuff, but it's not the same way. It's an accident. It's not the same way as like, I bought a book to bring someone back to life. It's a little intense. I don't know. It wasn't as playful. I just feel like kids everywhere were gonna go to the what do you call it? The cult section of a library and just start summoning shit.
And just start rising shit up from the ground.
Right. Yes. Start Ouija boarding it, and they were like,
Pet Cemetery all over again.
Okay, let's dive in.
Ooh, I'm about to.
Ooh, I'm about to dive in.
So, the movie begins with an Eve doll commercial. She's black. Woohoo. Love that.
Yeah, me too.
She's like Barbie, but not.
She's played
the
by
black version.
What's her name?
Tyra Banks. Here we go. So we have an Eve doll commercial. We see Eve. She's a doctor. She's a lawyer. She's a nurse. She's going to the beach. She's with her boyfriend, Dan. I don't know.
Does she have a boyfriend? I think she does.
They show her with a doll. I read somewhere that it was supposed to be Prince Eric, but I don't know how accurate that was.
Okay.
But yeah, so we see the Eve doll commercial. She has many accessories, many outfits, and she lives in Sunnyvale in the middle of America.
And she has a fun catchphrase song. Shine bright.
Yeah, and she has a great catchphrase, jingle.
It's
where you are, be a star.
When I told Lauren we were doing this, she sang the song pretty accurately, and I was very surprised. I was like, whoa.
How do you know this? Right?
I was like, why do you remember the song?
Right. Kudos to her. So then, cut to, we're seeing a kid's store?
Yeah, like a toy store.
A toy store.
Yeah.
And then we see the Eve dolls are marked down. And the manager of the store is complaining about how the dolls aren't popular anymore because all kids want is to buy, like gizmos and gadgets, things that move,
phones, flip phones or some sort.
Technology. That's all they're into.
I want a robot I want a
in the new millennium.
Yes. The next we see Casey Stewart, played by Lindsay Lohan, the woman who built Disney. And we see her doing
on her back,
honey. That's why she went crazy. She was doing too much. Sorry.
Yeah.
It was really hard to be a child star.
If there was a Disney film, she was in it, baby. Like,
she was killing it.
This is the house that Lindsay Lohan built.
She's really good. But Casey is she's playing a football game, and we learn that she's a quarterback of her school's football team. She's clearly a tomboy. She hates dolls. She has a bad temper ever since the death of her mother. She's not a pleasant young girl.
Yeah. So then we meet Casey's dad, who's at another scene. He's back in the office. He's a lawyer. So he's in his office, and he realizes that it's 3:00, and he just missed his daughter's football game. She's the quarterback, by the way. Did you say that?
Yeah.
She's the quarterback.
Did I? I don't know. Maybe I did.
It's pretty cool.
Quarterback, yeah.
She's the quarterback.
It's iconic.
Yeah. She's always going to be iconic. Right. Don't ever get it confused. He just realized that he missed the game because he was working late. And he wants to become partner of the law firm. And then so he's sitting there with his coworkers. One of them, whose name is Drew. She's a new lawyer, I guess, at the firm. She has a huge crush on him. Mm-hmm. And then Richard, who's kind of like,
sleazy.
His like sidekick, who's kind of like,
sleazy.
A creep in a sleeve.
Another reason why I feel like they got rid of this ministry, because he's a little.
Yeah. You know who I feel like their relationship paralleled to? I don't remember their names, but from Breaking Down the House.
Bringing Down the House. Oh, yes, it's the the dad, the main guy, and
his friend, his worker friend.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they're all sitting at the round table. Drew is being like really weird.
Dang.
She's like coming on full throttle, and then she's like, "Well, what are you doing tonight? I can cook you dinner." And then he's like, "No, tomorrow is Casey's birthday, so like I'm gonna spend the night with her." And then she's like, "Well, okay, I want to kill myself now." I don't know.
She's very nice. I don't think she's being creepy, but she was a little.
She's coming on way too strong.
She did come on a little too
Stop
strong.
making yourself so available.
She's like, "Can I cook you guys dinner tomorrow?"
And he's like, "No, back off." And then so he leaves. And then Drew leaves.
Mm-hmm.
And then what's the dad's name?
Ben.
Okay. Ben's talking to Richie, and Richie's like, "Look,
Richard.
she's already trying to cook you." Richie's his name in my head.
Yeah, I was like, you already renamed him.
And he's like, "Look, she's already trying to cook you dinner." And then Ben kind of reveals to Richie, he's like, "I'm not ready to date ever since, let's call her Karen. Ever since Karen died, his wife, Casey's mom."
Because it's a Disney movie, and a parent must be what?
Dead. Not
yes.
even a parent. The mother. The mother must always die.
If the mother can't, number one option is the mother dying. If the mother can't die, both the parents must die.
Yeah, it's never dad.
Yeah.
The dad's never dead. Yeah. It's either the mother's dead or both of them are dead. So interesting.
Very interesting.
One day, I vow to you all, one day I will come with a list of every Disney movie. I'm going to start making it now. Of every Disney movie that has a dead mother. Bambi. First on the list.
Are you making it right now?
Yes.
I don't think this is the best time, but
this is I'm starting the list. But you carry on.
I'll keep going with the podcast. So back at home, we see Casey. She's on the World Wide Web, and she's looking for a resurrection spell. In order to bring her mom back to life. Dark. She finds a website that tells her that her local bookstore is selling a book called The Book of the Dead, and it's going to help her, bring her mom back to life.
Right. So now that she sees that her local bookstore has this, witchcraft book, of course, her next thing is to go and buy it. But before she could do that, Casey is interrupted by her dad. She turns off her computer and he hops into bed. And then he kind of tells her that he's sorry that he didn't make another one of her games.
Boo, you sucked at.
And he promises, of course, they always make those broken promises, to be better, and that her championship game is actually coming up, and that he will be at that one. But of course she doesn't buy it.
Yes. And he promises to spend tomorrow, her birthday, with her the whole day. It's me and you, kiddo.
Mm-hmm. So then the next day, I guess the day of her birthday, Casey is out. Mm-hmm. She's walking the streets by herself, which doesn't seem safe, and runs into her old group of friends who she kind of stopped hanging out with once her mother died. And they are talking cash money shit, might I add. And then they're like, "Oh, rude. Look, it's Casey." And then one of them's like, "Don't talk to her. She hasn't talked to us ever since her mom died." "Yeah, get over it already," says one of the girls. Get over it already.
Yeah, it's not going to age well.
Casey, these aren't the type of girls you want to be hanging out with.
Okay. I get how they're annoyed that she doesn't hang out with anymore, but not get over it.
Not get over it already. Your mom died? Why are you still whining about it?
I mean, it has been 2 years. You barely knew her, girl. Just kidding.
Ouch.
Ouch.
So, anywho, one of the girls, the least bitchy one, runs up to Casey and is just like, "Hey, Casey, do you want to hang out with us?" And then she's like, "I'm kind of busy." And she kind of, shoos her off, which is a little rude. But,
it was very rude.
I guess you're a loner. She's a one-woman wolf pack. So then the girls kind of leave her to it, and then she goes into the bookstore, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So there, Casey finds the occult section of the bookstore, and she sees the book that she came for, The Book of the Dead. It's $150. She only has 63, which is actually pretty much a lot. She leaves an IOU note, and she takes the book and she steals it and she runs home.
Right. I was surprised she even did that. I was surprised she left money back. I was like, she has $3. I was like, there's no way
she has a lot of money. I was like, once you just go home and actually die for some more money, you're almost there. Right. I don't think this book is going anywhere.
Right. No one's going to purchase it. No one even comes into this bookstore that you're in.
Unless she just wanted to do it on her birthday, a special day. But I'm like, girl, did you need it right now?
So she runs off with the book that she partially stole. And then the man realizes that she stole it after she's left.
Mm-hmm. He's like,
so then as she makes it home in her room, Casey reads the instructions on the resurrecting of the dead. And then it also says that she has to prepare an altar and that she is only given one shot to do this.
Yes.
You got one opportunity, and after that, you can't do it again.
Which doesn't make any sense.
Which does not make
one
any
shot
sense.
to bring that person back to dead. This is my one in a lifetime shot at bringing anyone back to the dead. What's the one?
So the one shot to speak this ritual. And work, like what? At what point?
It's a fine print.
Yeah, well, like I don't. It doesn't
That's
make
not how
sense.
spells work.
That's not how they work. But anywho, so she reads all that out, but now it's time, to celebrate her birthday. So her dad calls her downstairs. She's downstairs. They're celebrating her birthday. They're cutting the cake. She's got chocolate on the outside, chocolate on the inside, because that is her favorite. And then she, what'd you say?
I thought that was mom's favorite cake for the longest.
No, it's chocolate on the outside, white on the inside.
Very confusing.
I thought it was white on the outside, chocolate on the inside. But we know now.
Yeah.
So, she blows out her candles on her cake, and then she's like, Dad, do you want to know what I wished for? And he's like, what, Casey? And then she's like, for Mom to come back. And he's like, stop it with this nonsense. And he was like, what did the shrink tell you? And then she obviously is meeting him with resistance. And she was like, he's crazy and his breath smells. And I think that I can bring her back. And I think it could work. And he was like, no. He was like, I wish, magic was real and all of that too. But it's not. Mm-mm. Your mother is dead.
Yeah. Let it go.
But she won't, poor thing. And then they kind of switch the subject. Then he brings up some Super Bowl tickets that he found. The fact that they were able to go to Super Bowl is really nice because
he got money.
Well, it's like $2,000 for like a ticket in the nosebleeds for the Super Bowl. But so I bet he found like old ticket stubs from when him, Casey, and her mom all went to the Super Bowl together, and it was like one of their best memories, and they're reminiscing and they're having a really good time. And then Drew walks in.
Well, Drew rings the doorbell. She's walk in. You not like Drew?
No,
I like her.
She's doing too much. He should have married Eve. Actually, I hate the ending of this movie.
We'll get there.
I hate it.
He can't marry a doll.
She wasn't a doll anymore.
She was always a doll at heart. Anywho, so Drew rings the doorbell. She says that she's there to drop off some paperwork that she needed him to sign because it has to be on their boss's desk by Monday morning. So he invites her in. Drew does not come empty-handed. Since she knows it's Casey's birthday, she gives her an Eve doll. Like
she's just sucking up to Ben.
Oh, she likes whatever. And it's a collector's item, of course. I mean, it's a collector's item, not of course, but Casey gets a gift. She's not into it, obviously,
because she's a tomboy and she doesn't like dolls.
And she's not 10. How is she making? She's not 7. I don't know. I was like, 5, she's probably making she's probably actually making like 12. So take that back. But she's not a child. She doesn't play with dolls anymore. But Casey, nice enough, pretends to like it. Thank you, Drew.
And then so she takes her gifts and she goes off to her room and she lets Ben and Drew do whatever they need to do.
Once Casey's in a room, she throws the Eve doll on top of very top of her shelf and basically is gonna forget about it for a little while. And she puts the altar together. She gets everything that she needs to bring her mom back to life, which includes her mom's hairbrush that has pieces of her hair on it.
And that goes in the center of the altar.
Yes.
As she is about to begin her necromancing. If you're not familiar with the term necromancing, it's bringing dead people back to life.
There you are. That's what she's doing. That's what Disney was promoting.
Right. So, as she's about to do her ritual, the book says she needs to recite some, gibberish words, yes. And she starts reciting them. But then just as she's about to begin... What did I just say?
Just as she's about to begin?
I said it weird, though. Oh. Just as she's about to begin the ritual, here comes Drew's aggravating ass again.
I like Drew.
She's knocking on the door. Casey? And then, of course, Casey runs off into her bed. And she's like, yeah, come in.
At this point, Casey's like, okay. I mean, not Casey. Drew is like, I came to say goodnight, but she gets distracted by all of Drew's trophies. all the Casey's trophies. She goes to grab one, knocking everything over, including the Eve doll, onto Casey's altar. Casey's upset. She grabs all the stuff for the altar to like clean it up and whatnot, and she runs into the bathroom. So Casey doesn't see when Drew takes the hairbrush that she left behind and cleans up the Eve doll and brushes her hair, and she puts the Eve doll in her nightstand to make her nice and pretty, because this is a collector's item that clearly Drew's really into dolls. Yeah, that's her thing. I guess she wants Casey to be into it. So Casey,
you're not my mom.
That's what's giving. So Casey comes back. She's like, "Okay, time for you to go." And Drew leaves.
Like, get out. And Drew's like, "Happy birthday." And she's like, "Yeah, fine. Thanks."
So at this point, Casey gets back to her spell. She repeats the words in the book. That's
literally what she's saying.
Yeah, it's like gibberish. And at this point, the book begins to glow, and so does the Eve doll. But I don't think Casey sees any of this because her eyes are closed.
Yeah, but everything's like the magic's really working and cranking while she's doing this.
Yes. So Casey, in her head, she wanted to bring back her mom. But, however, the magic acts on the doll rather than her mother because the hair from the Eve doll is in the brush and not, her mom's hair.
I mean, her mom's hair is in
still in there, but maybe that was like maybe that was I don't know.
Maybe the Eve doll hair is fresher.
Yeah. They were like, this, do you want, the book was like, you must want the Eve doll because that's the freshest hair.
Yeah, that's the freshest hair. This other hair is old.
Yes. So at this, Casey goes to sleep, and when she wakes up in the morning, she finds Eve in her bed, and she's a full-size human.
And Tyra Banks emerges. We see Tyra Banks in all of her glory. Oh my god, she's so pretty.
She is so pretty.
I was like, wow, this woman is stunning.
Yes. So at seeing a large black woman in her bed, Casey screams.
She's alarmed.
She
grabs her baseball bat and she was like, "Lady, don't try me. I had 12 home runs last season." And Eve is like oblivious. And she's like, "Hi, I'm Eve. And you're my new special friend." And then after she makes a realization really quickly. Casey, after looking at her for a couple of seconds, she instantly realizes that she did not bring back her dead mother, but instead she has brought to life the Eve doll.
I mean, what would have been the logistics of her bringing her mom back to life anyways?
It couldn't have been good.
It's been 2 years.
So we definitely would have seen an animal farm. What is it? No, not animal farm.
You're talking
Pet
about
cemetery situation.
I mean, a 2-year decaying body. She'd have woke up in a casket. Her body would have been terrible.
I guess it would have been the actual physical body.
It would have been her physical body. It just wouldn't have worked out, Casey. Everything happens for the best.
Frankenstein zombie.
And then it's like she wouldn't have.
Drew actually did her a favor.
Right. Would she have gone to the graveside and be like, "Mom, are you down there?"
Right.
Or she'd have been like, "Oh, she didn't come." And then now this lady has to die in a casket all over again. It's just traumatizing.
Yeah.
So it all worked out.
Horrible stuff.
So Eve falls out of bed. She struggles to stand because she's got a new banging hot body.
She's not used to this whole mobility thing.
Yes. Casey's very upset, because her mom's not there, but Eve does not. Eve is excited to be alive. There's no questions like what happened. It's just like I'm here and I'm happy, honey.
She's like, "Oh my god, TV, music, clothes, food. What is this? It's just like Sunnyvale, but everything's real."
Yes.
And, it's just like teaching a dog how to walk.
Exactly. And then Casey's like, I gotta change this back. So she looks in her trusty Book of the Dead, and she reads that in order to reverse the spell, that she has to get the second volume of the Book of Awakening.
How annoying is that?
What a ripoff.
What a ripoff.
It's like, you can reverse it, but you gotta buy the second book.
You gotta buy volume 2.
That's so crazy.
That is.
But it does mention that if she wants to change Eve back into a doll, she has to do it before sunset on the 4th day that she's been alive or something like that.
Miss that.
Yes.
Miss that. So thanks for that information.
And also, Casey can't bring back her mom anymore because she blew her one shot on a doll.
So she's pissed.
I
would be too. So obviously, Casey's like, "Okay, I've got to get this resolved." So Casey grabs Eve and she's like, "Look, we're going downtown. We're going to this bookstore." So Eve and Casey, they're walking to the bookstore in the neighborhood to get the spell book, but Casey can't go in because she has stolen volume 1. So she sends Eve in there to do it. She's like, "Look, this is the book. Go get the book and then just come right back out. You got it?" Eve's like, "Of course, I got it."
I just got here on Earth. Yes.
Eve goes in. Of course, that's not what she does. She goes in. The man, seeing this beautiful, striking black woman, goes up and he's like, "Are you lost? Can I help you with something?" Because I guess he thinks she can't read or something. Racist.
She can't read.
I guess she can't. And then she's like, yeah, I'm looking for this book. Do you have volume 2? And he's like, you know what? I haven't gotten volume 2 yet. I used to have volume 1, but a little girl stole it from me the other day. And then Eve's like, I know that little girl, Casey. And then she pulls the man outside and she's like, she's right there. And Casey makes a run for it.
While all that was going on, Casey's father went looking for her, walks into her room, and finds the Book of the Dead. He's like, ugh, not this again. He also
already knows what she's up to.
Yeah, and he also notices that the book costs $150. He knows for a fact she ain't got that money, so he's like,
I know my daughter ain't got no 150.
This gotta go back to the store. So Casey's on the run from the bookstore, and the dad's on his way to the bookstore, and he sees Casey running, and he sees her fall into the street, and he also sees this beautiful black woman hop in front of Casey to stop an oncoming truck that is miles and miles away from hitting her. It's very unnecessary. She gets in the middle of the street. She puts
up out her hand like she's Superwoman or something.
The car is so far away. It had so much time to stop. For whatever reason, Casey's still lying on the ground, and Eve feels.
It's a movie. You're supposed to think she's about to die.
Yes, sure.
So of course the dad sees this. He sees Eve save Casey's life. He runs up to Casey and he's like, "Oh my goodness, are you okay? You scared me half to death." And then Casey's like, "I'm fine. What are you doing here?" And he was like, "I was returning the book that you stole. We're gonna have a long talk, young lady." The dad gets up. He looks at Eve. He's taken by her beauty, and he's just like, "You know what? Thank you so much for saving my daughter." And she's like, "No problem. I used to be a police officer."
Oh, okay. That's nice. You didn't give me the police officer type, but yeah, okay. Eve
get up.
Comments on his handsomeness, and
yeah, all right. I don't like his voice. His voice gives me villainry.
He's up to something.
Does he not give you that?
No.
Yeah, you want to know why I think that?
Right.
His voice sounds exactly like the voice of the guy from Billy Madison, the bad guy. His voice sounds exactly like that to me, so I think he's evil.
Oh.
Every time he speaks.
I have to compare it. I'm not sure. I believe you.
Good.
I believe
I'm
black
glad
women.
You believe me. Go on.
So for whatever reason, Casey being like, "Why are you hitting my dad?" She faints. And then she wakes up back at her home, and she's like,
I had this horrible dream.
Craziness.
I had this dream that this woman who was a doll, turned into a woman, and then she was following me, and then as she's recanting this dream to her father, Eve walks in, and she's like, "Casey!" And then Casey screams out of terror, and she's like, "It's not a dream."
She's like, "What are you doing here?" So Ben tells Casey that Eve, came back to make sure he's okay, and since she has medical experience and training, she came to help. Because she has
medical experience.
She's a cop. She has medical experience.
She
does
got
it
all of these things.
Yes,
and
yeah. Oh.
She's got all of these things, and in order, as a sense of
Ben's
repayment, like, "Well, Eve, is there anywhere we could take you?
Anywhere, honey?
This is the least we can do." And then she's like, "Yeah, take me to the mall."
The mall, because she has none of her stuff.
Let's go shopping.
So
unusual request, but they all hop into Ben's Beamer and they head to the mall.
At the mall, Eve is once again, shocked and amazed by everything. She's so happy to see that nothing is made out of plastic, because where she's from, everything's made out of plastic.
She's oohing, she's awing, she's taken aback by everything, and then just the whole time, Casey is really irritated.
She's like, "Oh, don't worry."
She's like, "Ugh."
Eve also mentions to Ben that she currently has no place to stay. None of her clothes have arrived yet, and she has no money because her money is with her clothes, and she's just really down on her luck at this point. But Ben, being the sugar daddy that he is,
the kind gentleman who sees a hot young thing,
he offers, to buy her clothes till her clothes come and she can pay him back when he gets his money and everything. And he also offers Eve to stay in their guest house.
And Casey, of course, is like, "What? You can't do that." And he's like, "Shut up. She's hot. I can't.
He's like, this is what I was made for.
And then, so, of course, now we have a fashion montage.
It's amazing.
Eve's in the store. She's picking out clothes. Meanwhile, Casey's talking shit. And Casey's like, I can't wait to thank Drew. Eve's like, who's Drew? And then Casey's like, the girl who gave me you as a doll, and now you're real, and I hate both of you.
Yes.
And meanwhile, Eve doesn't care. She's just looking at the clothes. Yes. So now we get our fashion montage. She's trying on outfit after outfit after outfit, and she looks fantastic.
She's running up the bill. I'm like,
every single one of them. And she is running up a hefty bill. And the stores that she's going into, they don't look cheap.
they don't look.
They look
ball
designer.
gowns. Ball
Yeah,
gowns.
she's like trying on like ball gowns, like Chanel 2-piece
Yeah.
suits, like a church gown.
Where are you going?
It's like, where are you going?
Where are we going? She's running up Daddy Ben's credit card. He don't care.
He don't care.
He says, swipe the card, girl. Swipe the card.
So once they're done with their shopping spree, Eve, I guess, has worked up an appetite after all their shopping, and now they're at this Italian restaurant eating dinner together. All three of them.
So cute. So somehow they.
You know what's really interesting about this movie? How he just plays oblivious to like all of her shenanigans.
It's just like
she says like some of the dumbest stuff, and he's like, yeah. And like when she's like reading the menu and it's upside down, and she's like, I can't read any of this, and he's like, yeah, it's Italian. He's like, what? The menu's upside down. Like, are you blind?
he should be more concerned about who he brings around his daughter. Cause
Literally.
She's clearly a scam artist.
Literally. If anybody was actually in reality and had common sense, you would honestly see her as a con artist.
Yes, she's conning you, sir.
Right. This is exactly what she's doing.
The man is lonely.
But
Ben asks her about Sunnyvale, and she tells him that it's beautiful. It's in the middle of America where the sun always shines. And there she does law enforcement, medicine, and she also does office work.
And Ben's like, well, you know what? That's fascinating. I just had to fire my last 4 secretaries. 4? Like, what the hell?
What's wrong with you,
They can't
Ben?
be that bad.
Yeah, what's wrong with you?
Literally.
You had to be a terrible boss.
And then he's like, I could really use some help. And she's just like, you know what? I'm great at office work. And he was like, well, not to, impose, but if you don't mind, I could really use your help tomorrow. And then she's like, I would love to. And then Casey's like, she can't do that. Absolutely not.
No.
She doesn't have any brain cells. And then Ben's like, Casey, eat your spaghetti.
And then Eve also mentions,
Ben, even though I do so many things, my real purpose in life is to help girls. I strive to present a positive image of womanhood because I believe that girls everywhere should know that all things are possible.
All that feminine stuff.
Yes.
And then Ben, as soon as she says that, he's like memorized. And he's like, my wife used to think that. Hook, line, and sinker, she's got him.
She's got him.
Meanwhile, Casey's pissed. You know what also I realized in this movie?
What?
I was like 50 minutes in, and I'm like, Casey still hates her. I'm like, at what point do they start liking each other? I was like, the movie's only an hour and 20.
They don't start liking each other.
We're 30 minutes left in the movie, and she still hates her.
They don't start bonding until the last
until
30
the
minutes.
last second. I was like, I don't remember her hating her this long.
Right? It's ridiculous. Like, come on, girl. Be somewhat amazed
it's
by
literally like the
dog.
second to last scene. They're friends.
Really?
I was like, whoa.
So back at her house, Casey is doing more research on like she found the book that she needs, and she's gonna have it shipped to the bookstore. So she's trying to reverse the spell to make Eve back into a doll. And then she also takes this moment to tell her dad about the whole spell thing. But of course, he doesn't believe her, in case he gets upset. But she's determined to prove to her dad that, Eve is a doll. And she finds a certificate of authenticity.
Authentication. Right?
Yeah. The certificate. Wait.
I don't know.
The certificate of authenticity.
The certificate that says she's authentic.
Yes. And it has Eve's register number on it. And she's coming up with a little plan. So the next day is Eve's first day in the office.
She's in the cutest little 2-piece
share.
It's like it's giving
outfit.
like Chanel.
Yeah,
it's
adult Clueless.
It's a really cute.
And Ben introduces Eve to Ellen. She's a very homely type. She's been working. You can tell she's been working there for like her whole life.
It looks like she purposely tried to look as unattractive and
her hair
unappealing as possible.
is greasy.
Her hair is greasy. It's straight. It's flatter than ever. She has like 2 clips sitting in the front to lay, like, I don't know, her flyaways down.
Wow.
She's in a suit that looks like it was made for a clown.
Yes.
Clown-sized suit. It's swallowing her whole, and she's just so mundane and boring and dry.
Yeah. She's not really helping herself.
What's her role at the office? Who knows? But Ben introduces Eve to her, and Eve is just like, hey, with her like spunky, excited self, and Ellen is just like, I need your first name and your last name for some paperwork. And then Ellen kind of is just like asking her these probing questions, like, okay, where's your last job? And she was like, I worked at NASA. And like Ellen's like, this girl's crazy.
Right.
And then she's like, okay, what's your address? And she's like, 123 Sunnyside Lane, Sunnyvale. And she's like, what's the state? The Sunshine State, she says. And Ellen is just like, okay, I've had it up to here with you already. Florida. And we've only been here for 30 seconds.
Okay.
So Ellen's like, okay, whatever. So we move on. And then so as we move on, Eve is now being shown to her desk by Ben, and Ben asks her to type up some letters, yada 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 yada. So then Ben goes away, and then while Eve, not knowing what she's doing, she's like deleting files on her computer
with so much.
But you know, she's a doll, so she has no sense.
Yes.
And then while she's sitting at her desk looking cuter than ever, Richie walks in and obviously notices her immediately.
It's
and
like, whoa.
He's like, who is this hot young dime piece in here? So he introduces himself and he's like, who are you? And she's like, I'm Eve. I'm a star. And he's like, that you are, honey. And he's like, I'm Richard.
I'm a star.
And he's flirting it up with her. And
he also helps her, get those deleted files back. He's very helpful.
Recover those deleted files that she's just deleted.
And Eve gets called away for a second, and then Ben and Richard, have a little chit chat. Richard wants to ask Eve to the office party that night, and Ben, he's not dating her. He tells Richard, "Go ahead, it's all you, honey." There's another reason why I was like, maybe they didn't like this movie. So at one point, Eve gets Ben a massage, like a neck massage, and I was just like,
giving, office sexual harassment.
Yeah, it was just like, I was like, maybe
and
this is
like, do you really think you should be doing this in the office? And she's like, relax.
Right. She used to be a masseuse in her past life.
And he's like, don't tell me you used to be a masseuse. A massage therapist.
Ben gets called away by Drew once again. Drew is always there.
Yeah, Drew walks in. She sees Eve giving Ben the massage. She's taken aback. She's jealous. She's hating from outside the club.
Oh, yeah.
And Drew's like, hey, Ben, we need you for some important lawyer stuff.
Law stuff.
And Ben leaves and he asks Eve before he goes, like, hey, can you handle this by yourself on your own, the office stuff? And she's like, I can do anything, Ben. Of course, she can't do literally anything.
So Ellen gives her another task of typing up some paperwork. Ellen leaves, and when she returns, she sees that Eve has typed up a whole bunch of nonsense. It's literally
gibberish.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G,
it's
C,
like
T,
J,
P,
K, A, L, W, Z, R, Y, 127. She's just typing, gibberish.
Ellen's like, okay. So she gives her a new task, and I think it was to make copies. Ellen goes to check on her, and like the copier room is filled with papers just shooting out of the copier. Eve is...
Her hair's all over the place. Yes. She's disheveled.
She's overwhelmed.
She's crying. And Ellen walks in, and she's like, what are you doing? And then Eve says to her, Eve can do anything. And then Ellen's like, clearly not. And then Eve starts talking about how paper... and we should save the environment and the planet. And then Ellen's like, what planet are you on currently?
What are you talking about?
And then Eve is just really not, she's really not getting on with
And then
this.
she breaks a nail. This is not going well.
And then Ellen is like, you know what? I've had enough of you.
Come with me.
Let's go. And then so Ellen brings her upstairs. She tells her to sit down, and Ellen calls her a cab, and Ellen's like, you got to get out of here.
You got to go, girl.
And then Eve's just like, you know what? I don't understand. In Sunnyvale, I'm the perfect receptionist.
Mm-hmm.
And then Ellen sits down. She talks to her, and she's like, look, sweetheart, not everybody can be perfect at everything. She's like, you can't have beauty and brains.
I was so surprised that Ellen comforted her.
Yeah,
I was very
shocked
surprised.
Too. I was shocked too.
I was like, oh, Ellen has a soul. She's serious, but
Yeah, she's like, you know,
okay.
we can't have it all.
Yeah.
And then Ellen's like, look, you're gorgeous. You can't be smart too. And then she's like, if I had, you know, your looks and your body, you know, I would be one lucky girl. She's like, I can't even get anyone in the office to look at me.
No, a specific guy.
A specific guy. Yeah. And then so Eve is like, Ellen, I have the perfect idea. And then so cut to next scene. Eve's giving Ellen a makeover in a full, you know, breakfast club moment.
And Ellen looks like a completely different person. To the point where I was like, are they trading out actors?
Literally. I was like, there's no way this is the same person.
I tried. I was like, there's no way this is the same person. And I tried to look
honestly, you have an argument. There's no way they're the same people.
And I was looking, I was like, who plays Ellen? It only has one name by it. And I'm just like, you guys are messing with me because this can't be the same person.
You guys are messing.
Did y'all put a prosthetic on the original?
I'm telling
Ellen?
you, they were trying so hard to make her unattractive.
It looks like a completely different person.
Yeah, it's just like
it's a face. It's a different face.
Yeah, it was really astounding, the 180 that she did. And then what I would also like to take notice, Eve can't do anything. She can't even read.
Mm-mm.
Why all of a sudden though? She's like this grade A makeup artist. You can't do nothing else. You can't file. You can't type. You're not a doctor. Not a lawyer. You can't read. But all of a sudden, you've got, you know, the arts and makeup.
True, because Eve earlier said that she's never dressed herself before, so she asked Casey to dress her when they do the fashion montage.
Exactly.
So how does she know how to beat a face?
Plot holes.
Plot hole. That's actually true. Mm-mm.
But anywho, so Ellen is, you know, looking gorgeous after her makeover. And now, you know, Ellen is a new fan and a new friend of Eve.
Can you blame her? So Casey's off trying to do her plan on proving that Eve is a doll. So she goes to the store where Drew brought the doll, and she speaks with the manager, and the manager tells her that every Eve doll has a number on the bottom of their foot to prove their, you know, that's a registration number. So if you got a real Eve doll, they got a number on their foot.
As well as, you know, the certificate of authenticity. The certificate that proves that they're authentic.
Yes.
So the manager just, you know, reiterates all that information to her. And then Casey's like, yes. Can't wait to tell my dad, and he'll finally believe me. Mm-hmm. So
she heads home.
So Eve, meanwhile, is in the guest house, preparing for. Oh, we forgot to mention Richard. When he was talking to Eve, invited her to a office work party that night. Mm-hmm. And he asked. Like a gentleman, I guess. Asked Ben for his permission to ask her, and Ben was like, I'm not dating her.
Yes.
Yeah, sure, you can ask her.
Go for it.
So Eve is now preparing for this said party when Casey walks in and aggressively grabs her foot. And Eve is like, what are you doing? And she pulls out, you know, the serial number on her foot, and she was like, this is what I'm looking for, and now I can prove that you're just plastic.
Which really doesn't prove much. I have a foot tattoo.
I was like, literally, it could be a foot tattoo. It's literally. And then Eve was like, okay, tell your dad, but like, please don't tell your dad tonight because I'm going to this party. And then Casey's like, what party? And she's like, your dad's office party. Of course. Then Casey's like, you can't go to the party. And then Eve was like, well, I'm going. And then Casey's just like, just because you're beautiful doesn't mean you can get everything that you want. And she kind of just like storms off.
And she's like, your freaking days are numbered, girl.
She's literally like, count your days because they're numbered. You've gobbled your last ghoul, Governor Cuomo.
We have to find that original video.
You've gobbled your last ghoul, Governor Cuomo.
People are funny.
People are hilarious.
So, I guess Casey didn't tell her dad that exact moment because next we see Eve arriving at the party with her date Richard, looking fabulous. She has a red ball gown on, and
the train is black.
Yes,
and then there's like a little cutout part where the bra should be, and that's black. It's really cute.
Yeah, everyone's looking at her.
Yeah, she's eye-catching.
She's eye-catching. And Ben and Drew are there, and they're basically discussing how Eve had a terrible day at work, and she was a terrible assistant, I heard. But Ellen,
who doesn't like anybody, could not stop raving about her.
So something must be happening. That's when I knew he was like obsessed with her, when she did a terrible job as a secretary, and he was like, didn't want to fire her, kick her out the house. He didn't do anything.
I mean, how could she? She's too... This is a movie, for her sakes. But she's too just dumb to even just like... He should have known better. He probably was like, you know what? I should have known better. It's my own fault.
But for someone who's like, I worked for NASA and she can't type, or like I used to be, I was in medical.
For someone who fired 4 secretaries, you would think
he would know. Like one is like a complete idiot. I don't know.
Yeah, you would think. But I guess. But
not. Those looks get you every time.
Those looks.
So Eve arrives. She goes straight for the food. The girl likes to eat. It's a real time. First time eating food.
She's stuffing her face. Meanwhile, Richard's just watching her stuff her face. He gives her some punch. He calls some friends over. They talk. They're taken aback by Eve's weird, personality.
She calls them Mrs. and Mr. Boring.
Because Richard said they were boring, and then she called them Mr. and Mr.'s boring.
Because she thought that was their names.
She thought that they were their real names, and then Richard's like, you're amazing. And, she can do no wrong in Richard's eyes.
Yes.
And then Ben and...
Drew, your favorite.
Whatever her name is. Drew come over.
After finished dancing, at this point, a new song has come on, and Eve is like, Drew, let's go dance. Because she loves... it is weird that they ended up together. Oh, I'm sorry. Ben is... Why is her name Drew?
Just a bunch of... Casey, Eve, Richard.
All right. Casey... No, Shrek. Why would you say that? Eve asks Richard... No! Jesus! Eve asks
Casey.
Ben... I will punch you in the face. I was like, no, what? Eve asks...
Drew.
I was about to say Casey. I will murder your soul.
All right, I'm done.
Okay, so Eve asks...
Richard!
Stop it.
Okay, that's enough.
Come on! This is not nice. This is bullying 101. So Eve asks Drew. Fuck me. Why is her name Drew? Eve asks Ben to dance. Jesus. So they go on the dance floor. Eve is like... In her head, I'm a ballroom dancer. I'm about to get it. She does 1-2 step, and she's like, "Why am I messing up? Why am I not doing this?"
He's like, "Catch the beat, calm down." And she's like, "In Sunnyvale, I'm the best ballroom dancer." And he's like, "It's fine." But then eventually, she does get the hang out of it, and then she instantly turns into an excellent ballroom dancer.
It is
which
weird.
is another thing. It's just like, when is she good at things and when is she bad at things?
My thing is, I don't know why it doesn't translate. I feel like in my perfect story,
she would have naturally been a doctor and a police officer and a good secretary. That's what I thought too.
And like at least a good dancer.
It should have yes, she should be able to do everything that Eve is able to do.
Exactly,
but she's not.
Which maybe they were like trying to say like,
which makes sense, I guess, because at the end of the day, she's just a piece of plastic and a doll, so she really can't do anything.
But I feel like the theme of this movie and the Barbie movie was that, Barbie puts on this pretty face of how like she can do anything. And it's like a lot for girls to like try to live up with. So maybe they were trying to say like, in the real world, you can't do everything.
That's what Ellen said. Ellen was trying to tell her, look, honey, we can't be perfect at everything.
So I guess it's like, in this made-up world, yes, you're perfect. But in reality, you can only do so much.
You can only do so much, honey.
Thank you, Barbie. Thank you, Barbie. Hi, Barbie. Hi, Barbie. Hi, Barbie. Hi, Barbie. You gonna say hi, Barbie back or no?
Hello, Barbie.
Oh, wow. That is anti-Barbie. So, yes. They're on the dance floor. They're cutting up. They do a little 1-2 jig. They're clearly falling more in like... Ben at one point says, "How are you able to make me forget everything about like my stresses, work, when I'm with you? Like, how are you able to do that?"
And then she's like,
"You're hitting
Ben,
on me."
Literally. She's like, "Ben, you just take life too seriously."
He does.
She's like, "You don't have to think about all those things all the time." And then he's like, "You really think it's that easy?" And she's like, "It is.
It is. It can be.
When your head's full of air and plastic."
Yes. They finish their dance, and Richard's like, no. Come on, Eve. We're done.
He's like, "Remember, this is my date."
Yes.
So Richard pulls Eve away, and he asks her
to leave.
Yeah, he's like, "Do you want to leave?
You want to go back to my place?"
Here? to my place. You know, he's coming on to her. And she slaps him. And he's like, what did you do that for? And she's like, isn't that what I'm supposed to do? You're being forward.
You're being forward.
And then he's like, no, I'm not. And she's like, yes, you are. And he was like, okay, I am. And then he's just like, but look, I don't really know how to act. This was a crock of shit to me. I was like, what is he even trying to say? It was like, you don't know how to not be a pervert?
I guess.
I don't know what he was trying to say. You explain it because I didn't even understand.
I don't know what he said, but Eve was like, you don't have to be this way. Like,
you don't have to be a douche.
You could be yourself. You're funny. You're handsome. Like, any girl would like you if you just be yourself. And he's like, you know what? You're right. I don't have to put on this macho guy vibe, toxic masculinity, bang bop, I got money type vibe. I'm just gonna be myself. And at this, Eve runs off because she's the main character. And she goes on stage and she asks the band members, do they know Be a Star? They're like, I don't, but if you start singing, I'm sure we can keep up. And she sings her one hit wonder, her number one single, her only single, Be a Star. Eve's great. Oh.
No matter where she goes, dress her up.
From her head to her toes, on the town, at the mall. Eve loves high fashion after dark. At the club, she'll spend the whole night dancing. Shine bright, don't be shy. Be a star, where you live, where you are. Shout it out, be a star. Shine bright, shine far. Be a star, where you live, where you are. Be a star.
It's a good song.
So, and then everyone's loving it. They're like, oh my God, yes.
She's turning up the party.
She's dancing with the old partners at the law firm.
Yes.
She's turning everybody out. Everyone's loving it.
Turning everybody out.
And then Eve and Ben, after, a fun night at the party.
Oh, wait, no. And then,
sorry.
I just want to mention Patrick asks Ellen to dance. Because Ellen had a crush on
Richard?
Patrick. Oh my God, who did I
Who
say?
the hell is Patrick?
Patrick Star, of course. Just kidding, I don't know. Freaking out.
So yeah, Ellen's at the party,
yes,
looking great in her newfound look. I forgot about the part.
Mm.
And then she's she's in the corner dancing while Eve's singing, and Richard notices her and he asks her to dance.
Yes, because
Richard was the guy that Ellen was talking about that doesn't notice her at work.
And I'm sure.
But why would anybody notice you looking like that?
Well, I hope she gets the best version of Richard and not the douchebag version. So I'm assuming
I hope they both get the best versions of each other.
Ooh, good job.
Richard not being a douche and Ellen putting effort.
Yes, into everyday
her
life,
appearance.
right?
Just even the slightest effort. So now Eve and Ben head home after a fun-filled night of dancing and all that fun stuff. And then so Ben walks Eve to the guest house. They're having a little talk. They're talking about how great the night was. He starts showing her the stars. He's like,
star right there.
That one's
Poseidon.
The other one's
Aquarius.
And this one's
Jupiter.
There we go.
That's a planet.
It is, but it's fine. So, and then while they're looking up at the stars after a beautiful night, they're looking into each other's eyes and they inch closely to each other. Aww. And just when they're about to kiss, Casey emerges and screams, "Dad! How could you?" I feel like this is the scene when I was like, oh my God, we haven't seen her in
it's like, oh
2
wow,
hours.
I forgot about her.
I was like, oh my God, I forgot.
There is like no, it's like really just like an adult, like adult heavy.
Yeah, I was like, is she even like I was like, she's not even like the main character in this movie.
She's not.
It's like the dad's more important than her.
Yeah.
Like, it was like
Eve is the main character.
It's like she's not even in this.
She's not in it.
So, the dad, Ben, is like, Casey. And then Eve, being the idiot that she is, and she sees Casey and she's like, Casey, your eyes, they're wet. Casey's crying. And then Casey just like runs off to her room.
Because, this is the first time she's seen tears. Because where she's from, everything's happy.
Oh, I thought you meant I thought you were talking about the dad. I was like, this is not the first time the dad has seen tears.
Because Eve's great.
Yes. No matter where she goes. So Casey runs off, she's crying and whatever. The next day, Casey's at football practice for, the championship game that's coming up. And, she's had a really tough night. Mm-hmm, and then Eve shows up to her practice. She's in this really cute, green rain jacket, and she has this.
The outfits
on.
this girl has, hunty.
She looks great. And then so Casey's sitting on the bench. Eve pulls up on her. They're having like a little conversation. And she asks her why she was upset last night. And
she asks about crying, basically.
Yeah, she was like, what was crying? Like, what was that? Tell me about this emotion that you had. I've never heard of it. And then she's like, why are you so upset? And then Casey's like, because you were kissing my dad, you dork.
And she's basically still hasn't gotten over the loss of her mother, and she doesn't want some lady doll replacing the spot of her mother.
Right. And then Eve is basically saying,
she's like, you know what, Casey, I don't like seeing you sad, so I'm gonna go home. I have a surprise. It's gonna cheer you up. Can't wait for when you're done with practice.
And Casey is not buying what she's selling. She still hates her. Okay,
so while that's going on, Ben is back at the office. He's preparing for his deposition. That's going to be on the same day as Casey's championship game. He's hoping that this goes well so he become partner. Drew stops by, your favorite person. And she's like, are we sure that Eve is a good person?
Are we sure Eve is who she says she is? And then Ben is like, well, what do you mean? And she was like, I was looking at the records that Ellen got about her past job history. And her last 3 places of employment, she said she worked at NASA, then a hospital, and then was a police officer.
Yeah.
And then Ben was like, well, she does have, a vivid imagination.
I would have been like, what is wrong with you?
Literally. And then Ben's basically like, but she means well, she's harmless, she's really great. And then Drew's just like, I don't know, maybe I'm just a little jealous. And then Ben's like, okay.
No, that's not how he.
He's
that's
like,
not
get
what he
out
said.
of my office,
That's not
Drew.
what he says.
I'm not interested.
He says, I'm happy to hear that you're jealous. I think it was so cute that she was like, I'm jealous. I was like, I love people who express their feelings.
I was like, you're pathetic because he's not even that into you.
He apparently is.
He's not giving her any time of day.
I mean, he said he was happy that she was jealous.
Which I thought was random because I was like, who do you like here? Eve or Drew?
I think if Eve wasn't a doll, he would definitely go for Eve.
But he doesn't know Eve's not a doll.
But also, I feel like that wouldn't have last because eventually he'd have been like, oh, she's really for real about this whole life
like
is great.
She's not letting up on it.
Yeah, that would get really old.
Yeah, it would get old really quickly. Not knowing anything, yeah. Like literally, you'd have to teach her like she was a.
You're
2-year-old.
raising a child.
You're raising a child because she doesn't know anything.
Yeah. So back at the house, Eve is preparing to bake. She can't find her cookbook, her Eve cookbook. So she's like, you know what? I'll just improvise. I'm Eve. I can do anything. And then Casey comes home to a smoke-filled kitchen and a frantic Eve.
Her hair's all over the place. She's got dough all over her face. Yes. She's disheveled. There's fanning smoke everywhere. She's fanning the smoke. She's like, Casey, help me.
Casey. You sound just like her.
And then Eve is like, no, Casey's like, you're going to burn down the house. She gets the fire extinguisher. She extinguishes whatever...
The cake is on fire.
Whatever like Eve was trying to cook, she, extinguishes the fire, and Eve, has a moment of, melancholy, and she's just like, why can't I do anything? And she sits on the ground and pouts, and Casey's like, because you suck.
No, no, that's not happening. But during the whole fire,
fill in the gaps.
During the whole fire extinguisher moment, Eve is like, I'm going to fix it. So Casey's trying to, put the fire out. But Eve is like, oh, I can fix it. So they're fighting over the fire extinguisher. Foam's going everywhere. It's on them, whatever.
Oh, right,
and then Eve is like, I hate my life. Why do I suck? And then Casey's looking at her. She's like, you look ridiculous. Because she's got the foam all over her. So. And then they start laughing at each other, how foamy they look. Foamy they look. That's not a thing.
But they're having a little. They
finally bonded.
Letting up.
Yes.
They're having a laughing moment. Casey's laughing. She's smiling with Eve. This is literally, I clocked it. This is like, the movie's only an hour and 24 minutes. This was at 57 minutes and 32 seconds.
Right.
She's finally.
I would have liked Casey to have looked for Eve for more, like, I don't know, advice to get her friends back. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or looks like more together.
Right.
Because they really weren't together.
We don't get that.
We don't get that much.
She's with Ben all the time.
Yeah. Not at all.
Yeah.
I think we only get one scene is like this like next sleepover scene where they're like together.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
that's their
crazy.
only bonding moment.
That's their only bonding moment.
So I guess after, they've kind of washed themselves off, it's bedtime. Casey is in her room with Eve, and Eve is like brushing her hair, and like they're having like a sleepover moment, and Casey is letting her walls down, and then Eve is like telling her how pretty she is and how I guess she should lean into her prettiness.
Eve confides in Casey that she's upset that this whole time that she's been here, she feels that she hasn't inspired one single girl.
I've hardly helped any girls yet. No one wants to even buy me anymore. I don't know what's wrong with me.
First of all, you're already beautiful, so lose the sparkle and shine stuff. That went out of disco. And look at all the things that you do. I mean, you're a classic overachiever. Nobody's this good at everything.
But I'm supposed to always be perfect. Do you realize how hard it is to be me? It is not easy being the best at so many things.
Nobody's great at everything. I mean, part of being human is making mistakes.
But I'm a doll. Dolls are supposed to be perfect.
Perfect is boring. My mom always taught me that it's not about being the best. It's about trying your best.
So being a role model doesn't mean that I have to be perfect all the time.
You got it.
And she's like, if you do that, I bet, you'd make tons of sales as a doll.
Yes. And then
Eve... Is that like she has like the say?
I don't know.
She's a doll. Like,
it's funny.
No say in the matter.
Because the Barbie movie does something similar, but they address how like they're like, don't ask any questions. They're just like, I don't know, like, because like
leave it alone.
Yeah, they're just like, just don't ask any questions. Like, because based on like Will Ferrell, they know about the whole Barbie Land thing. But
don't spoil it for me.
They're just like, shut up. They just like leave it alone, which I appreciate.
Gotcha. Well, that's what they should have done here. So Casey's basically like, no one's perfect. Stop leaning into that. Lean into like, flaws and all those different things. And, maybe your doll will finally sell.
And then Eve tells Casey, well, maybe you should give people, a chance and have some more fun and hang out with your friends and, grow and
grow and
figure out
those things.
Yes, get it
that
together.
are vital and
stop being so sad. And then they do this whole conversation, but they eventually tell each other how much fun they had with each other, and
then Ben walks in.
Yes.
Ben walks in, he cuts the fun, and he's like, I think it's time for somebody to go to bed, ma'am. Talking about Casey, not Eve. So Eve gets up, she tucks Casey into the bed.
I really love about what Eve's wearing? That big hockey jersey?
That jersey, oh my god, I love it. Her hair's like silked back. She looks
so
great.
Cute. It's like a
fantastic
core memory.
Yes.
That and her final outfit that she wears.
Yeah.
To turn back into a doll.
That, the final outfit, the first outfit, and the one that she's wearing in the cover photo.
Oh, the cover photo.
The like dress.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And the red dress she wore too.
Mm-hmm.
And the Chanel outfit. Literally every outfit that she
wore. I like the kitchen outfit. Well, her in that kitchen scene. I just remember her being like,
yeah. Core memories unlocked.
Yes.
Anywho, so Ben walks in. He's like, Casey, time to go to bed. Eve leaves. She tucks her in the bed. She gives her a little kiss on her forehead. And then Ben is like, wow, I think she's finally warming up to you. And and then Eve's like, yeah, I think she finally is. Then they talk about something.
They talk about, Casey and her football tournament coming up, and he's basically like,
I can't miss this one.
Yeah, he basically feels guilty because he's basically saying like, I used to go all the time because of work, and she's like, you know what? I'm sure once work slows down, you'll be able to go to more. Yeah, you'll be able to go to more freaking practices or games. And he's like, yeah, but he feels guilty because he really knows he's trying to be partner, and that's probably not going to happen. So the next morning, Casey is packing her stuff for the big game, the big championship game. Her father walks in. He promises that he'll be there, which she doesn't believe. I appreciate the fact that she's like, yeah, she's whatever.
Like,
she's like, I won't get my hopes up.
Right. As she shouldn't.
Before she leaves, Casey gets an email on the web, and it's a message saying that the spell book, the volume 2, has arrived at her local bookstore. She can go pick it up. Meanwhile, that's
but she don't know if she want to pick it up no more.
She don't know
if she want to reverse the spell.
So meanwhile, Eve is in her room combing her hair. You know how she does. She's listening to the news, and she hears a news article.
Breaking news.
Yeah, a news story about how bad the sales of the Eve doll is doing, and all dolls
how
total.
The company that owns it are thinking about, ending the doll line altogether, and it'll be determined in about 2 weeks, depending on sales.
Yes.
And so this could be the end to Eve dolls as we know it.
Yes. And as she's like looking at they play the commercial for her Eve doll, and she's like, I miss Sunnyvale.
She's like, it's Sunnyvale. That's my car. That's my house.
That's my man.
That's Sunnyvale.
That's my man.
That's my man in the back.
And at this point, Casey comes into the guest house and is like, oh my God, the book's in, but we don't need it anymore because we're friends now. We don't need the book. You don't need to be like a doll anymore. You can be human forever and we can be besties.
And Eve's like, but Casey, and she's like, but nothing. She won't even let her get the sentence
I lost
out.
my mother. I will not lose you. So Casey arrives at her game. They're warming up. She looks around the stands and she sees nor her dad or Eve. And she's a bit bummed. Cut to, we see Ben back at the office. He's impatiently waiting for the deposition to begin, but it's running behind schedule. They're supposed to be over 30 minutes ago, but
they haven't even started. Because whoever they're deposing, I don't know, they're running late.
Yes.
After some time, Ben decides, you know what? He begins to pack his stuff up, and he's like, I gotta go. And Richard and Drew are both in the room. They're like, where are you going? And he's like, I gotta make my daughter's football game. And, I think you two are more than capable to handle this on your own.
Mm-hmm.
So he makes it to the door. And Richard and Drew are like, all right, sure. Then, as he's making his way towards the elevator, he runs into, I guess, one of like the major partners at the firm, and he's like, Ben, where are you going? And he's like, look, the Super Bowl of 7th grade football is about to happen, and I'm not there. And he's like, I have to go see my daughter. If this is going to jeopardize me getting partners, so be it, but I have to be there for Casey. And then he's like, well, all right, man. So Ben leaves, and he's on his way to go see Casey.
Spoiler alert, he becomes partner. How white man is that?
That's what we call privilege, honey.
How is that possible?
Well, he was probably, yeah, I guess.
I think about Sex and the City and Miranda.
He could have been like, this is an emergency, I've got to go. He could have just like been like,
but like,
Casey's sick.
I feel like in girl world, you would never become partner. Oh, you have a child? No.
Sorry.
No, sorry, no.
Sorry.
Miranda from Sex and the City, she stayed late when her mother died, and they still didn't make her partner, and they still found things to pick at her about.
Oh, did they really? I didn't know that. Her mom died?
What? Yeah, her mom's died.
I guess anytime she's on the screen, I tune it out.
I love Miranda.
She's not the most interesting one.
I love Miranda, and I love Steve, and she's
just always so bitter.
She's not bitter. I think she's just like cold. There wasn't a nice way to
aren't interchangeable.
But I know bitter. But bitter means she's mad about something. She's like cold, but not in a bad way.
No, in a bad way. She's just like
standoffish.
Oh my gosh, she was so mean to Steve. It's just like
I hate that she's mean to Steve.
She was evil. She was not nice.
I just hated that she didn't love Steve the same way he loved her.
Yeah, she was just mean. She was cold-hearted.
I love Steve. Ugh.
Anywho, so Ben's off to the game.
He's off, and he makes it just in time for the end of the first quarter, honey. So he's in there, like somewhere.
And then so he's in there, he's cheering Casey on. Casey sees him. She's like, hey, Dad. She waves at him. So adorable. So sweet. So cute. And then later, Eve joins us.
Got some things before that. So, cut to Eve walking the streets by herself. She walks past the store that was selling her toys. She sees that they're on clearance and that the lady's like taking them off the shelves. Not a good sign.
The toy store. And then the lady looks at the Eve doll. She's taking it off the shelf. She sees Eve in the window and she's like, wait, y'all look exactly alike.
Inspired
Which I
by.
must say, how the Eve doll literally looks nothing.
Right, it doesn't look. It looks like a doll.
Just a black doll. Why wouldn't they make a doll that looks like her?
I don't think they had the technology back then. I don't know.
Yes, they do it all the time. Celebrities have dolls made of themselves all the time. Do you know how many dolls have been made after Britney Spears? So it's just like it wasn't.
But to me, they don't look like anybody.
I think they could have made one at least have green eyes.
Does she have green eyes?
Yes.
Oh, didn't even notice. But to me, they never. They only look like their doll. They only look like the human being based on their accessories. I'm just like, oh yeah, okay, I get what you're saying. That's going for Brittany.
True, but I know you can make the doll. They could have made the doll look a little bit.
Well,
like
maybe
her.
they made the doll first,
and then I mean, I'm here for it. But the doll was also still. The doll was darker than her skin tone, which I'm here for, sure.
Yeah,
but I was like, this looks nothing like her.
This is not matching.
At
They
all.
chose the doll first, and then they picked.
Clearly, they're like, look, we've already locked in the doll. We're already down. We're already up on the budget, so we can't go over. We can't redo this.
Yes. So Eve, who's clearly discouraged by the difficulties of being a real woman and worried about the cancellation of her doll by the company, whatever, she goes into the bookstore. Goes to the bookstore to purchase the spell book.
Volume 2.
And then she heads to Casey's game right before it ends.
She makes like the last 2 minutes of the quarter.
Yes. And then we see Casey. She throws the football right before it's about to end, and the guy on her team catches it, and he goes to the field goal, and he misses by an inch, and Casey's team loses.
They lose, which is
Which I didn't like that. I think they could have won. I'm with you. I don't know why.
Why did we have 2 losses here?
Why did she need to lose?
We lose the game and she loses Eve.
What did she need
that
to
could
learn?
go down in history after losing her mom as one of the worst days of her life. Like, what?
Yeah. It's like, why did she
loses the doll that she brought to life and she loses the championship game?
Like, what was the lesson that she needed to learn from that? I don't really get it.
It's just like pile-on after pile-on.
Yeah.
Why couldn't she have won?
And
now she has to transition into she just lost the game, but now she has to get over that and transition into finding Eve.
Yes.
So, whatever.
Maybe she lost the games for her and her dad to have this heart-to-heart. I don't know.
Oh, they do have a heart-to-heart. Well, whatever. When Eve first gets there, though, Eve is like, hey, I came to tell you guys bye. And then Ben's like, I can't hear you. Tell me after the game. He's like, shh, the game's going on.
Yes.
So the game ends. They lose. And then Ben goes out on the field to talk to Casey. They have a conversation.
He's basically like, I'm so proud of you. And he mentions like, I'm sorry that I never talk about your mom, but I know she'd be proud of you. And they cry in each other's arms. And Eve is in the stands looking onto this their moment, and at the sight of it, she cries for the first time. Which Barbie has a similar cry scene.
Can you stop ruining the movie for me?
It's in the trailer.
I have not seen that in the trailer.
Her crying, sitting on the bench.
No.
Yes, you have. You don't know why she cries.
I have not, but you're comparing, like you're saying, like, oh, she has a similar.
No, that's not when she cries.
When she gains emotion,
it happens way early in the movies. Whatever. It's not even that big of a deal as it is in this one. Anywho, you should saw the movie. That was your excitement. It was a big blockbuster hit. I don't think if you didn't know. Anywho. So Eve cries for the first time, and she looks around at other people in the stand, and she sees, people sad and happy, and she feels all these emotions. She sees
this couple kissing. She's like, wow, emotions.
Yes. Happiness, sadness. She's like, I get it, but I really want to leave.
She's like, I've found the meaning of life. Now I can go.
Yes. So
she bolts.
She bolts.
And then so Casey goes up to talk to like some guy on the team that's on the team with her.
Yeah.
Who they low key hate each other, I'm sure, once they turn like 15.
Like a girl, you can't catch a ball. Yeah. That type of
I'm sure once they turn 15 they'll start dating each other.
Love that.
They're like, oh, where did Eve go? And then his mom is like, oh, that beautiful woman? She told me to tell you guys bye. She has to go back home. And then Casey's like, go back home. And the dad's like, to Sunnyvale? And then she's like, no, she's going to go back home permanently. We've got to go find her.
Go
find her.
Yes. So cut to Eve is arriving at the Marathon Toys headquarters. How does she know to go there?
I have no idea. That's the place that makes the Eve doll.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, yes. I think you were telling me that. I was like, yeah. But maybe that was like her idea of an altar.
Yeah, I have no idea how she knew how to go there.
And then how did freaking Casey know to follow her there? Like, why would you even think that?
Right.
How did she even find that place in her head?
Exactly.
Huh?
I don't know.
So Eve arrives at the
plot holes
at the headquarters of the company that makes her. She walks in. She talks to the security guard. He's like, oh yeah, follow the footsteps, because he thinks she's there for something else.
He's thinking that she's there to pick up a paycheck.
Yes. So she follows the footsteps on the floor, and she walks past all these posters of the Eve dolls doing all these different things, and then she walks into a room that's decorated just like Sunnyvale, and Eve starts to recite the spell that's in the book. Cut 2. Ben and Casey arrive, and they're like, have you seen a beautiful woman? He's like, the security guard's like, oh yeah, she went that way.
So they go follow her. Watching them like walk through this area, I was like, ooh, I remember this building.
Mm-hmm.
It's like memories unlocked.
It's the posters to me.
Yeah.
It's like the
So then Ben and Casey, they're following the footsteps. At first they, try to go to the payroll room because the security guy was like, I sent her to payroll, but that's not where she was. So then they continue to follow the footsteps, and they go into the little Sunnyvale set place room that Eve is in, but they don't see her, and Casey's like, oh no, we're too late. And then Eve emerges, and she's like, Casey, and then she's like, Eve. So they see each other, they hug.
She's like, great, it's not too late. She's like, I'm sorry, babe, I already said
she already did the spell.
I'm just waiting for sunset to
that's what was happening.
Yeah, she's like, I'm just waiting for the time to kick in.
Dang.
For me to turn back into a doll.
We don't have much time.
Yeah, we don't have much time.
We just have minutes. And then Ben's like standing there, and he's like, wait. Like, be for real. Yes. Like, you're not really like a doll. And then Eve takes off her shoe, and she shows Ben like her serial number on her foot, which I feel like still proves
like, I'm
nothing.
just gonna go with the vibes.
And then he instantly just accepts it. And he's like, wow, this is crazy. And it's just like, you're accepting
We don't
this?
have time to explain,
right?
Story. The budget was only for an hour 30, so
that's all we got.
That's all we got.
And then so Casey, she's hooping and she's hollering, she's crying. She's like, please don't leave me.
Don't leave us. We need you.
And then Eva's like, Casey, I love you. I love you guys. You guys are amazing.
And she says, like, I'm glad to have at least helped one girl while I was here.
Yeah. And
she's sweet.
She's like, I know I couldn't, help all the girls, but I'm glad I could have helped you. And
she's like, I'm gonna try to use all the stuff you taught me back in doll world. I don't know.
I just don't understand why she's so eager to get back to literally being a vegetable.
I mean, it's her home.
She's an object.
I know.
She doesn't feel. She doesn't. She's just.
She remembers.
She might as well be paper.
Well, Jade, clearly there's a different realm that you don't understand.
It's just like, that's what I can't wrap my head around. She's so eager to go back to literally being nothing.
I think
to not existing.
I think in doll world,
wants to go back
in doll world she
existing?
exists. We just don't see that version.
Doesn't.
But she does.
It doesn't work like that.
Does. I mean, Barbie world it does.
Whatever. So
they say their final goodbyes.
They say their final goodbyes.
And Eve turns back into a doll.
And she stands on like the sun setting. She stands on like some steps. And there's sparkles, there's glitter, there's lights, there's shimmer. And we slowly see her morph back into the doll.
And
Ben picks her up and he's like, why don't we put her somewhere nice?
Oh, on a shelf. Thanks. I forget about her in 5 years.
Right.
Cut to.
That's about it.
That's over. So cut to, we see Casey and
we don't know how much time's gone by, but next scene, maybe a week, 2 weeks, a year,
2 weeks.
6 months.
At the least, because they're gonna cut the doll.
Oh yeah. Like so I guess about 2 weeks.
Yeah. So cut to Casey and her dad are walking down the street, and they walk past the toy store, and this time there's a line of people
booming with customers, kids everywhere. And the manager is like, I don't know what they did over there at the Eve doll production factory,
but they did
whatever they're doing, it's working.
They put their foot in this doll right here.
Yeah, she making that money, honey.
Yes,
and the dad and Casey walk past, and then as they're walking past the store, Casey sees her little friends, and they're like, hey, Casey. And she's like, hey. And then she asks Ben, she's like, can I go with them? And he's like, yeah, sure. So she runs off with her friends, and then they're like, you're not too busy to hang out with us? And she's like, not anymore.
I've gotten over the trauma of my mom's death.
Right.
I'm ready.
I'm moved on. And then so, of course, here comes Drew. Oh, God.
She's taking him out to lunch, I'm assuming because he got promoted at his job.
He
made partner.
She's like, hey, partner, because he's been promoted. She's like, let's go celebrate.
The nerve of him to get everything he wants.
Literally. And then
he's got 2 hot women.
Well, not no more, just one.
Well, he
but
had her.
she agrees. I mean, he
Beautiful
agrees to go
daughter.
on a date with her. And, you know, I guess they're gonna get married or something.
Yeah. I mean, she really likes him. So clearly, of all the lessons Eve learned in the real world, she took it back to doll world and she translated that into sales.
I also don't understand.
I went to the producers of Disney. And I
How
told them,
you turn?
I want to make history,
and that's what we're doing here. And that's what we're doing here.
That girl is so odd. I saw a compilation of her like saying crazy things.
Not that girl is so
She
odd.
is, and she says the oddest things on red carpet, and I'm like, what the hell? She's a little weird. She's very odd. And I said,
Oh god,
we're gonna make history.
I went in and I spoke with
I met with the
president
producer
of Disney Channel, and I told him I want to make history, and that's what we're doing here.
Yes, girl. Okay, work. Work. I wonder what she was even talking about. Like, what movie?
I think it was her, because you know she had that show Jessie or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Okay.
it was literally something so simple, like something so her character gets like engaged or something like that, and I don't think they've ever had like a Disney the main character of a Disney show ever get engaged.
That's weird. Was she like 15 on the show?
Well, no, she was like a nanny, so she's supposed to be older, but
Oh, interesting.
yeah.
Okay. But the film ends with the cast dancing to Eve's theme song.
Eve's great, no matter where she goes. Dress her up from her head to her toe. That's all I got. Eve.
Be a star.
Yeah, so we see everyone in the movie join in on the dance. We have
That's amazing.
Tyra Banks as Eve singing. Lindsay has joined in. Richard's there. Ellen's there.
Drew's there.
Ben's there. Drew
Why do you hate Drew?
is there. What is her purpose? We didn't need Drew.
She's
And I
the love of his life.
must say, there is something to be said about movies forcing white men to do choreography.
You didn't look
Something
bad.
to be said there.
Like, stop
They
it.
don't want to do it. Why do they keep on making them do it?
I love it.
It's just
I will say one of the very few times I'm like, oh my god, I love this choreograph. Like you could tell they're in it. I don't know if you've seen 50 Days of Summer.
500 Days of Summer.
Oh, 500 Days of Summer. Is it 500? Yeah, 500 Days of
I
Summer.
haven't watched it.
They have a cute little dance number after he has sex with Summer for the first time. It's so cute.
I feel like he would appreciate it.
Huh?
I feel like he would appreciate
Yeah, he had a great time. You could tell.
You can tell he liked it.
Yeah, he liked it.
I just feel like whenever they do that,
You're like,
the
wow.
white men always just question their like life choices.
He's like,
They're
I'm
just
a real actor. I
yeah,
could be
they're
doing
like,
this.
oh, why do I keep on getting booked on these chicken shit movies?" I feel like that's like their thought process every single time they have to do things like that.
I mean, you're on a Disney movie.
What else did you expect?
You might have to dance.
Right.
You're lucky we don't have to.
All I
sing.
can say is the
sorry,
slight dance number makes up for only slightly, the horrible ending that this movie has.
I don't think it's a horrible ending, but they were steering us between a Eve and Ben love connection.
Right.
It was heavily being stirred that way.
Right.
Not even lightly, like a little. She was like, "You're so handsome. There's no men like me, like you, when I come from." They almost kissed.
So it was just like,
how is it that whenever I'm around you, I my stresses and I'm floating on air.
right. It's just like, so we did all that for them not to be
Right.
together?
It's like, do you like Drew? Because you kind of forgot about her.
Right.
Yeah, I get that. That might be the one time I'm like, what the hell? But it's like, what, she couldn't have stayed a human.
I'm curious to see, we didn't mention how there's a sequel to this movie. I'm curious to see how the sequel is.
I think it's I'm probably not good. They made it too far late.
I'm sure it's horrible.
When did it come out?
18 years later, in 2018. Like, why even do a sequel? At that point?
2018.
Almost 20 years ago. I mean, 20 years later.
I'm assuming it was like the exact same vibe. I have to guess.
I don't know. I've never seen it.
Yeah.
So.
I wonder if there's witchcraft and.
I feel like she probably does not come back in the same way. I feel like they probably tried to make like a technology spin on it.
Let me
She
see.
comes like through the computer or something.
Oh yeah, I have to look into this.
Eve's great, no matter
Wikipedia
where
says-
she goes. Strike up from her head to her toe.
Not just the plot.
What is it?
It's literally 2 sentences, and it says Grace, the young CEO of Marathon Toys, is in the middle of a quarter-life crisis as she struggles with her job. With the help of her young neighbor, Grace's old Eve doll magically awakens to help get Grace back on track. That is the plot. Usually, but usually they tell you like step by step. They're like, this is all you need to know. Okay,
that was enough.
No, but if you go on Wikipedia, they're like, and then they tell you the whole story.
Oh, the plot. Let me see.
Like that is all.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's
they're like, okay.
It's a TV.
Yes, I could edit it.
Sequel.
Oh, maybe another time. Okay, but do you think the movie still holds up? Did you like it? Did you enjoy it?
Oh, fantastic film, nostalgia. The ending, however, whatever. It is what it is, I suppose.
It's funny because when I told Chancellor we were doing Life Size, and he was like, "Oh, Life Size is like basically what Barbie is," or he was like, "Barbie's just copying off of Life Size." I was like, "Shut up." He's so right.
I mean, yeah, pretty much.
It's basically the same thing, but I didn't want him to think he was right, and I was like, "Are you trying to undermine the new Barbie?"
Did he see the new Barbie movie?
No, he hasn't. But it's just like it is kind of like the same.
I mean,
similar theme.
Literally.
Yeah.
Literally.
Life Size crawled so Barbie could backflip tuck.
Come on, backflip tuck.
Yes.
It's a round off tuck or a back handspring tuck, though. So just next time, get it right. Okay, guys. Well, this has been super fun.
Yes. Go watch movies. If you have any movie suggestions for the pod or just in life,
holla at us, but only if they're good ones. Because I hate, loathe entirely. When y'all suggest movies like Saving Private Ryan or some crap. Do you not know what we're doing here? Look at our catalog.
Yeah. Stay in the realm of rom-com. Feel good. Yeah.
Film good, comedies, romance, coming of age. Anything outside of that, we're not here for it.
If there's someone that dies in it, they need to die,
before the film starts, they need to already be dead.
Yeah. So we're
not doing nothing where nobody dies in the middle.
Mid-film,
unless it's funny when they die.
Death. But I forgot to say at the beginning, don't forget to rate, subscribe, download, follow us on TikTok.
Like, review.
Follow us on TikTok at Please Don't Spoil. Follow us on Instagram at...
Yes, our Instagram is Please Don't Spoil. Our TikTok
is Don't Spoil the Movie. Sorry. TikTok is Don't Spoil the Movie.
There you go. And...
we're on other stuff, but just look up.
Yeah.
Go to our website at pleasedon'tspoilthemovie.com. And download, rate, subscribe, tell your friends, and be safe. Hallelujah. I don't know why I said hallelujah. Okay, bye guys.
Bye. Thanks for listening.